Hey everyone, Thegermaniac back again, bringing you the final video of the day. And this one is by NDTV. Russia could start World War III. Fears Germany leaked documents. So, pretty big. Russia to start World War III. Let's see what it says. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman, what the hell? Spokeswoman Maria Zakharova dismissed the report as last year's horoscope. It's edited by someone named Amit Chaturvedi or something. What a name. It also said that Vladimir Putin will make use of the US presidential election. Clearly, I mean, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't they attempt to do stuff during the election? Probably go for the more isolationist candidate. Let's get into it. Germany is preparing for an armed conflict against Russia, according to Bild newspaper that attributed the information to classified documents it accessed from the German Defense Ministry. The outlet claimed that Russia could expand the war in Ukraine by attacking NATO allied countries next year, pointing towards a possible beginning of World War III. The report came as the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine nears the 2-year mark. However, Russian officials refused to comment on the Bild report, accusing it of being vague. Now, honestly, like, really? You think Russia's gonna. I mean, they can barely take Ukraine. I think they're making slow gains, but you think they're gonna push their luck? I mean, they warned against they warned against what NATO was doing when it came to Ukraine. They basically said they were going to invade Ukraine if NATO kept on influencing people within the region, essentially. And so they decided to just go in and yeah, essentially attack Ukraine itself. Now there's no real reason for them to be attacking the countries next over. It just doesn't make any sense strategically and on a world stage unless they have the blessings of China and Iran and a couple of the other allied countries. But then that would actually be like a full scale war. And I don't think anybody, neither does Russia, want that. So it's highly, Jesus, my hand. So it's highly doubtful that Russia will invade Ukraine. Not invade Ukraine, invade the rest of the Eastern Europe. The only thing I actually see happening is potentially Germany using troops. Even then, even that would be a step too far because it would be so unfavorable. I don't think anyone really cares, would bleed for Ukraine, other than a handful of mercenaries who already have. But nobody is gonna want to put boots on the ground and actually fight for Ukraine. I mean, like, honestly, the country's already a hole. It was a hole before it got invaded. It's currently becoming a hole. And people don't want to die. They don't want their children to die, and they don't want to die to fend off Russians. Maybe if it was their homeland, yeah. But people aren't built like this anymore. They don't like, especially Germany. It's not like some sort of massive sense of we gotta stop Stalin and we gotta take out the Soviets. It's like, yeah, okay, they're probably gonna take Ukraine, and then that's it. Like, nobody wants to die fighting Russia. And whoever actually does implement this, you would need, like, to justify doing it, you would need like a massive false flag attack akin to something of like 9/11, where not that saying 9/11 is a false flag, but something akin to the how extreme 9/11 was. But nobody my age range wants to go fight and die for Ukraine and Ukrainian freedoms. Look, we'll give you money and weapons, but like that's the extent of it. Sorry, if you can't pull it off, tough luck. The report also alleged that armed forces in Europe are preparing for an attack by Russia on NATO's eastern flank, which would include a cyber offensive. That's believable. I mean, countries use cyber crap all the time. But this article does remind me of that Swedish one I reported on, where Sweden's like, oh, well, we got to mentally prepare for a war with Russia just in case. And right now, Germany's trying to, they're thinking about, excuse me, bringing back conscription. So, oof, definitely could be a spicy one. In this scenario called the Alliance Defense 2024, the escalation will begin in just a few weeks, and tens of thousands of Jesus. In this scenario called Alliance Defense 2024, the escalation will begin in just a few weeks, and tens of thousands of German soldiers will be sent to the battlefield. Bild further said, quoting Defense Minister sources. And that's another one, Defense Minister sources. I mean, if this is true, oof, might have to rethink my Germany trip. Can you imagine they conscript me? I'm on the front lines. They're like shouting German at me. I'm like, what? What are we saying again? I can't see anything. I have bad eyes. I don't think it would go very well. Since the funding from the West is diminishing, Russian forces will attack Ukrainian troops in a spring offensive, as per the German outlet. It also describes step by step, month by month, how Russian forces will proceed and how NATO will defend its allies. I mean, this is kind of just classic, game theory. Like, you're kind of just trying to work out what would happen in a scenario like this. The clashes will escalate in September, according to the classified documents, prompting Russian President Vladimir Putin to launch a large-scale military exercise involving about 50,000 Russian troops in Western Russia and Belarus. According to the documents, Russia could then mobilize troops and mid-range missiles to Kaliningrad, which is a Russian territory located in between the NATO countries of Poland and Lithuania. Bild also said that by December, Russia could use the U.S. presidential election as an opportunity to spread its propaganda and fuel more violence. So they're saying they might time this for the 2024 presidential elections when things are uncertain, we don't know what's going on. The document said NATO would take the measures for credible deterrence. By May 2025, in response to the buildup of Russian troops and to prevent combat between Russian and Western troops, Russian news agency TASS asked Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, I hate when people spell Dmitry like that, about the report. He chose not to comment on it. Recently, this newspaper has regularly stooped to publishing fake news items in canards, Mr. Peskov further said. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova dismissed the report as last year's horoscope. Pretty interesting, but if this prediction is true, then it's 2024 spring offensive and it's on, and they'll be mobilizing many, many troops, including Germans, which we do not want to see. Keep Germany out of it. Germany, Switzerland now. Leave us alone. Give us the pipeline back. But if it's true, oof, big trouble. I highly doubt it's true. I don't think there's no reason for Russia to enter the eastern states. It just doesn't make it just doesn't make sense for them to attempt to do that. They could barely handle Ukraine. Then we aren't dealing with Stalin's, Soviet Union with like ad infinite manpower and ad infinite production. You're dealing with modern day Russia. It ain't the superpower that it used to be. And I think they know they'll be kind of stepping over a line in the sand with Ukraine because it was like a middling country, not in NATO. It gave them a more allowance to enter the region. But that's it for today. I'm going to go have a nap. If you liked what you see here, like the video, subscribe, or follow. And do you think these documents are true? Are Germans going into the region to go battle? I don't think so. But tell me what you think in the comments. Have a good one.